The Darien Gap.
Darien Gap.
The Darien Gap.
It takes days to walk through the Darien Gap.
50 miles of dense jungle dividing Central and South America. For most of us, 50 miles of jungle we'd never wish to know. It's the route thousands of people take, risking their lives in search of a better one. The route is filled with drugs, cartel syndicates, death, human trafficking, extortion, and every kind of nightmare you can think of. However, it also happens to be the home of many indigenous tribes, one of them called the Wounaan. This is my story of how I met this tribe, how I was invited into their community, and my experience inside the Darien Gap. There it is, guys. Wow. The first thing I did when I got to Yaviza was I went and found a hotel and a place where I could leave my motorcycle. Hola, ¿qué tal? Buenas. After finding a good spot, I went and walked around town a bit. I always like to walk around whenever I get to a new place. It's a way I can watch people and pay attention to how people are seeing me.
¿Dónde está el pescado? Uy! Al 100, copa!
Do they seem shocked? Do they seem nervous? And this is really important for me because I've never been to these areas. I'm all alone, and it's a way that I can start gauging how dangerous or how safe am I in a certain area. Most importantly, though, I was trying to find and seek out a referral I had actually gotten a week earlier from a fisherman that I met named Mahel.
Uy, aquí mejor lugar. Sí, aquí o por allá.
After I crossed, I ended up talking to him and we chatted for about 20 minutes. He told me his name was Mahel, and when I asked him if there was a place to eat in town, he told me no, but if I didn't mind, we could go to his house and he would feed me.
No sé si espera, podía haber una comida para comer y...
Ajá. ¿Es su casa?
Sí.
Oh.
Sí, bueno, si espera, podemos...
Okay.
Mahel lives in a place called Mahe, which is an Embera indigenous tribe in southern Panama. When we got to Mahel's house...
Gracias, hermano.
Es mi casita este.
Muy bonito. Gracias.
His brother-in-law, named Sebedeo, was also visiting him. Everyone started asking me questions, and when I told them I wanted to go to Yaviza and explore the jungle, that's when Sebedeo said, I have friends who live in Yaviza. I'll tell them you are coming and you can stay with them. He didn't tell me much other than his friend had a church, and I was to look for a man named Einer. So when I got to Yaviza that first day, that's what I did. Guys, this is awesome. I made contact with the church place. It's pretty big. It's all gated and seems like a great place to leave the bike. Really nice lady. Her husband's not here, so we're gonna try to come by tomorrow and make contact.
Gracias. Nos vemos.
¿Cómo te fue?
Muy bien. Como tipo iglesia donde hay hospedaje.
Ah, ok. Oye, ¿qué día te vas? Bueno, oye, me alegro.
Sí, sí, estamos viéndonos. Sí, yo voy a estar aquí.
¿Cuál es tu canal de YouTube? Ah, yo ya lo tengo.
Es este.
De bichito.
De bichito, así es. So right now, guys, we are going to the church spot. It's not far at all. It's literally right here. And see if we can make some new friends. Pull out my hat so I don't look so dang ugly. Buenas. Muy bien.
Bueno, siga.
Sebedeo me mandó por aquí.
Bienvenido. Los amigos de Sebedeo son mis amigos.
Está bien.
¿De dónde viene?
This, guys, is just crazy. The way that I met this guy is just and how nice he is. His name's Einer. We just had maybe about a 45-minute conversation, hanging out, getting to know each other. Just like the salt of the earth kind of guy. I found out that they're Mennonite. So this property started out as basically a way to give indigenous communities in the area medical, like medicine and vaccines. Long story short, it served its purpose many times over, and now it's like a meeting place. So different indigenous communities will come here, they'll stay here, and then they'll do like big activities like, you know, trainings for leaders, and they'll do big capacitations for them. But yeah, this is one of the buildings, and it's just got a lot of beds in it. When I asked how much, he's like, oh, no, you're not paying for any of this. I'm just like, Elmer was just telling me, he's like, you can stay as long as you want. I have contacts to get you into like some of these deep communities in the jungle, and we can go, like, you can go discover them, and we can, you know, help teach you the language. There's about 3 different indigenous languages. They're not dialects, they're their own language. This kind of stuff is just like the maximum for me. So I have about 3 weeks left I can stay in Panama. We'll see how everything goes, but I am probably gonna spend a good amount of time here, guys. I'll show you. This is a bathroom. This is where I'm gonna have my stuff under there. Go upstairs. And this is the upstairs. Really cool kitchen. Fridge, stove. I'm so excited, guys. I am like so excited to be here. Preparando la máquina.
Sí, tenía aceite quemado aquí.
¿Adentro?
Ajá, entonces no corrió.
Voy a darle con el primero. Ahí está. Ahí está. That's why we're cutting it. It's rotten. It's all rotten. Go inside. Eso. I've never seen a tree that big go down, guys. That was massive. That was exactly where they wanted. There's a road right there. There's power lines right behind me. That like, and it's on a hill. It's on a hill facing the power lines. And he sent it right perfectly where they wanted it. Wow. It's a sloth right there, guys.
Abajo. Está bien abajo.
Está bien.
Bien asustadito.
Sí.
Yo pensé que estaba chillando era la mamá.
Gordito.
Ay,
¿Qué
no
pasó?
pasa nada. Oh, muy suave.
Habla ya,
Yo no me atrevo.
¿Y quién es mío? De no, chichay obvio, no. Ay, choco.
Uy, el gran encuentro, el gran encuentro. Y más peludo.
¿A dónde?
Más cerca de la selva.
¿Cómo estás?
No, ahorita viene. Hay que esperar que ella se suba primero.
¿Se llama otra vez? Kumis. Está rico. Sí, está sabroso. ¿Usted lo hizo, hermano? These are my new books I will be studying. Palo. Pa. Casa. Di. Qué divertido.
Hay cuento en Wounaam también.
The next 4 days, I spent lots of time working with Einer. I was trying my best to earn my keep a little bit since they were housing me for free and cooking me meals and just being so kind. And we worked on the ranch, and I just really spent a lot of time meeting people, sharing stories, and I really did enjoy my time in Yaviza. After about 5 days, though, it was time to leave.
Here we go, guys, into the Darien. Woo! ¿Te sube de una vez, hermano? Here we go, guys. Here we go.
I crossed the river and made my way to the trucks that go down to the other villages. Saw some guys that I played futsal with earlier in the week.
¿Es una cámara, viejo?
Sí, hago videos de YouTube. Ese es el canal.
¿Tú estás viendo en estos días la birria de fútbol ahí?
Sí, yo estaba ahí con usted. Lo vi usted.
¿Para dónde va?
Capeti.
Oh.
Sí.
Then literally one of them got taken by the police as we were talking.
¿Como cuántos pasajeros se necesitan para que vale la pena?
8 o 9.
8 o 9. 2 ahorita tenemos.
Ahorita, dos nada más. Dos nada más, espera, dos nada más para ir. Dos nada más para ir.
Son como $8 por ahí.
Sí, 8 hasta ahí.
Normally these towns are hours and hours away by boats, but during the dry season they make a temporary road that cuts the time in half. The town I was going to was called Capeti, to stay with friends of Einer.
Llegamos, amigo.
Gracias, hermano. Bajando eso, entonces. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Ya?
Y era Dubat.
Ok.
Bienvenido
Gracias.
a la casa de Diriano.
Gracias.
Sobrino.
Buena. Provecho.
¿Cómo está, sobrino?
Gracias.
Ya.
Muy bien.
Siéntate, hermano.
Gracias. Voy a dejar esto.
We made it, guys. We've made contact. I got my place where I'm gonna sleep. I've said hi. Everyone's super nice. Probably spent like an hour and a half talking and kind of getting to know each other. And now I'm gonna go explore town a little bit. We are in Capeti, and everyone's looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm gonna put this camera away so these kids don't go too crazy on me.
Pesado, hermano.
Ay, hermano, este sol le digo.
Uy, tiene que ir lejos.
Como 1 hora.
1 hora.
1 hora por aquí para arriba le digo.
Le ayudo por un rato, le tomo un turno.
¿Qué va?
¿Sí?
Acá adelante hay 2 pelados que me van a ayudar.
Ah.
Aquí abajo.
Madre mía. Mira dónde estoy. En este tanque con los nuevos amigos. ¿Dónde está? Ahí está. Oh,
Para la selva, vamos para la selva.
vamos a Colombia.
Vamos para Colombia. Enséñaselo a tu mamá.
Sí. ¿Cómo se llama otra vez?
Cula.
Cula.
Chucula.
Chúcula.
Chicha de plátano. Maduro.
Ay. Está rico. All right, guys. Just came up here to do a little walk. Tomorrow is gonna be when the fun starts. And that's when we're gonna go out and work. And we're gonna go harvest yams. So you gotta dig them out of the ground, and then carry them out. We'll see. But I think we're leaving early, like 5 in the morning, and we'll get out there and start working that. But I'm just like so excited to be here. It's kind of unreal. It's just when I'm thinking about like how many people have been like out here. I'll say this, it's a lot safer than I imagined. I think right now I'm gonna go take a shower in the river. That seems to be the thing to do at this time of day, and then we'll go to bed. But I don't think we'll do too much more tonight. Here we go, guys. Here we go. We are in the thick of it right now. This is about as raw as it gets. Mi tío.
Estoy pisando.
Yeah, so we did this for hours and hours. These guys know how to work. Couple days of this had me pretty tired. I'll be honest, I was not very good at it. It's a lot harder than it looks, and I wasn't even doing the hard ones. So these are yams, and the tricky ones are actually these really long, skinny ones, and you have to excavate them perfectly because if you try to pull them out too early, they'll snap. And if they're snapped, then they don't sell. So they had me doing the easy ones. I was doing okay, but let's just say that on day 2, they promoted me to the less skilled labor and just put me on brute force, hauling sacks of yams up the mountain. Not gonna complain. I loved it. I love this kind of stuff, but pretty tough.
ya para empezar. Ahí va a pasar. Así no vamos. Esa es una cámara.
Ajá. So guys, we're just taking a little bit of a break from working. This is day number 2 that we're out harvesting yams out here in the mountains. And wow, what an experience, guys. I was thinking about 2 things. One, I'm about 15 miles away from the Colombian border. Like we are out here, you know, and it's a lot different than I imagined. Like right now we're kind of on these hills that overlook like this really big valley, and it's a bit flatter than I had imagined. Obviously it looks flat, but it's filled with little hills, you know, but it's not tons of mountains, which was surprising to me. I just for some reason imagined that this whole area was just like mountains. I don't know. Really, yeah, it's really cool to be out here. I feel very lucky that I've been able to meet these people, and they're really kind. They're all very kind, funny, and very inviting. So yeah, just wanted to touch base with you guys. I'm loving it out here. I'm having so much fun. Yeah, I think I'll have some like lifelong friends out here for sure. It's it doesn't feel dangerous at all. I think at this point a lot of YouTubers would probably be like, oh, you know, like they'd really try to like stir the pot, but I really don't like that, because I want, it's good for views, it's good for making money and getting recognized, but I think the reality of like, at least this place where I'm at, Capeti, there's not really a ton of danger out here. I mean, if you start going and hanging out with the wrong people, yeah, like, and obviously, yes, you can't just go anywhere you want, but it's not just like anarchy in this whole area. It's not a war zone. I feel very safe. You know, I've been camping in the tent at night. Yeah, I don't know what to say other than like it's just beautiful, and it's great. Yeah. Now, would I recommend people just like come out here and start showing up? And not really, but I've felt way more unsafe in a lot of different other places that I've been on this trip. So, but out here feels great, especially with these guys. These guys are just like salt of the earth, good people. But anyways, I'm gonna get back to work. Still got like maybe 2 more hours, and then we'll make our way back into town. It's like an hour and a half walk from town to here, a couple miles to these fincas, the little farms. Hey, yo, chamba. Ala, hui. Hui. Oh, tranquilo. Just got done with a little nighttime shower right here in the river with everybody. Really fun.
Well, guys, all good things must come to an end, and my time here in Capeti is over, and it's time to go back to Yaviza. On the river in the morning, it was really interesting to see all the boats and rafts coming in to sell their product. Rather than everyone taking their own trips down to Yaviza, people just sell their product to Diriano, and he makes the journey down. So people were coming from all over, all different kinds of amounts of yams and bananas, selling them off, everything getting counted up and weighed so that we could take product down to Yaviza. and then from Yaviza, where it would ultimately be loaded up and sent to Panama City to be sold. It blew my mind how literally some of the rafts were just logs strung together. I think one of the coolest things for me to see was just how real it is that rivers and waterways will always be the most efficient way to transport cargo. Whether it's giant oil tankers or cargo ships in the middle of the ocean, the same principles apply out here in the Darien. Whether it's a raft tied together of logs or massive wooden boats, waterways are the best way of moving cargo. After we watched the boats get loaded up a bit, Diriano actually invited me to go see one more village called Boca de Cupe, where he needed to go buy some medication for his wife.
Pero todos lo han dicho igual, todos lo han...
Ajá, Boca de Cupe.
Boca de Cupe, ¿verdad? No hay un puente
Puente, había un puente de eso
colgado.
colgante.
Cable.
Colgante, pero alto.
After that, we went back.
¿Cómo sin vergüenza?
I said my goodbyes, and Giovanni and I and a crew of 4 other boats got ready to make the long way back to Yaviza. My job was to keep the boat dry. You'll see here in a little bit how hard that would be, but I was just happy to have a job and contributing. Just as we were about ready to leave, we had one more boat flag us down with some plantains from a local guy, and then after we loaded those up, we were off.
Here we go, guys. This is going to be about, I think, 7 or 8 hours. We'll see how fast we go. Doesn't seem like we're going very fast. This can be quite the adventure. I'm thinking. We got Patron Giovanni aquí. I was told to grab that for to cover the bananas. But we got a lot of the yams that we pulled out this week. They're going down to Yaviza and they're gonna go with Giovanni. They're his yams, and we're gonna take them to Panama City, where they'll be sold at his house. So this is awesome, guys. There's logs in here. This is like, you gotta know, and there's a lot of money. There's a lot of money. Like, I'm pretty sure. Okay. So yeah, there's probably a couple $1,000s worth of product in this piragua. That's what they call these wooden canoes, piragüas. And yeah, we have a whole bunch of yams, and we got a whole bunch of plátano, all stacked up. There's a big log right there. You can see it. Ooh. It's gonna be about 7 hours. We'll get there at dark. What an adventure. So sit back, relax, enjoy. I'll try to keep us entertained while we're going, but probably cue the music and enjoy the views. But I am like so excited to see what this river looks like. I can already see a ton of just agriculture. This is all bananas right here, plátano, all this right here. But yeah, we're gonna make our way. Será.
¿Ya?
Será.
Cerró.
No puede ser. No way. No puede ser. Un triste plátano cerró la hoyo. subo?
Vivo, Carlos.
All right, we finally caught up to the rest of our buddies here. These are the big boys. That is just filled with yams right there. We got propane tanks. That boy's massive. Police checkpoint right here, guys. Landon. Stuck. They got stuck. So right now we got 3 out of the 4. Looks like it's about to be 4 of our boats stuck. Yeah, we're 4. We're 4 stuck. Now it's time to get out, start walking, and push all these boats out. Yep, we are moving. Corner. Oh, sí. Diamante. So cool. That is so cool. happy when I have some bread for him. Homemade bread from Diriano's wife. Pan de dia. Pan de dia. Alright guys, we finally made it to Yaviza. What a day, guys. Insane, wild, beautiful. I had an absolute blast. Man, I'm just, that last like moonlight, cruising in, sunset, I just put my headphones in, put on some like really relaxing music, and was just in my thoughts, and it was just like a really special moment, honestly. We just got done eating bofum, egg. Ya llegué, hermano. So everyone's sleeping on the boats, and so I am too. Just gonna sleep on top of some yams where I've been sitting all day. I actually got my spot all nice and comfortable, so we're ready. But we did the whole trip in about 7 hours from Capeti to here to Yaviza. So it feels good to have that done. And anyways, I'm gonna go get ready for bed, and before everyone starts getting laying down.
Estar con los plátanos.
Well guys, what an experience, what a morning. Sleeping on top of a whole bunch of bananas in a boat in Darien, Panama. Never done that before. I'm checking that off the bucket list. It was a really cool feeling, like spending the night there with all the guys, just everyone roughing it together. I don't know, I loved that. That was so fun. So now back at Einer's place. I'm gonna drop off my stuff, go to the bathroom, and then make my way back. Go say bye to Giovanni and everybody.
Now at this point, guys, we do have one big problem. How in the world am I going to be able to show my gratitude and appreciation to these guys? And it's tricky because it's not just one person, but, you know, it started with Mahel, who fed me, to then Sebedeo, who connected me with Einer, to Einer, who I met Robin, to Robin, who sent me with his family, Diriano and Giovanni, and just a whole bunch of other people. And rather than trying to give everyone just a single gift, I thought, what if I could give all of them a big gift? And so what all of them actually have in common is their faith. They all belong to a group called the Mennonite Brethren, which falls under the Anabaptist movement and kind of those general Christian beliefs. So I decided I wanted to give something to their church. So the property where Einer lives and where I was staying in Yaviza was actually donated by the Mennonite Brethren to the indigenous groups in the area. So really to serve as a point of reunion, a meeting point, also temporary housing if people need it, and just a place where these communities could throw events and the Embera, Wounaan, or Kuna tribes could have a place to meet. And so I brainstormed with Einer a whole bunch of different ideas until finally we came up with the idea of doing a large portable event-style tent. And so we went to Panama City and got to work. The tent's a good idea because although the property is quite big, they don't really have a place to meet when it's raining. And in Yaviza, it's in the middle of the jungle, so it's pretty much always raining there. I went during the dry season, so it wasn't too bad, but the majority of time it's rainy. And so we came up with the idea of the tent, you know, this portable thing. They could move it wherever. If they wanted to take it to other communities, they could use it as well and hold meetings. And so it just seemed like a good idea. When we got to Panama, Einer and I were going and getting quotes. I was calling people, really just trying to find where we could be good stewards of our money. And then so eventually we ended up finding this guy named Cristobal who owns a company called Lonas y Toldas out in Panama City. And after everything, we decided to go with him. He consulted us, helped us figure out the dimensions we wanted, and then we ended up putting the deposit on and having him start to make that tent for us. In the meantime, I was getting a hold of Diriano, and he was helping me with the logistical transporter guy that he uses to move product from back and forth from Yaviza to Panama City. And so we got a hold of our truck that was going to be able to then take the tent down to Yaviza, and we were doing all that while we were waiting for the tent to be built. Cristobal was awesome and really did put us at the front of the line and just got the tent built in a few days, and then all that was left was just to load it up and drive it down to Yaviza. Einer had to go back to Yaviza a few days earlier, and so I went in the truck and we loaded everything up.
All right, guys, last little thing is to pick up the chairs. We got 50 of them. And we got a little nice blue crate for Diriano for his birthday. Since when I was out there, it was his birthday, and I'm gonna gift this to him for his yams. Hermano, gracias por la ayuda.
Got the chairs, and then we drove through the night.
Well, guys, we just ate, had some chow mein that was not very flavorful at all, if I'm being honest. It was that food that, you know, it's just not, it's not bringing a lot of nutrients, but it is filling you up. What time is it? It's like 9 o'clock right now. We probably get there at 2 in the morning. I don't know why we're leaving right at this time, but we are.
Mínimo 3-4. A veces andan ni que 6-7 juntitos, pero ya cuando vamos más allá adelante viene otro grupito de 3 o 4 así.
¿Ese es uno?
Sí, ese es
uno. Todos a Estados Unidos.
Como dicen ellos, por el sueño americano. Todos van con ese pensar casi. Menos de 15 minutos por ahí viene otro grupito por ahí.
Got into Yaviza around 3 in the morning, went and slept on the trampoline, woke up in the morning, and then started setting up the tent. Just in time, actually, for the end of like a 3-day leadership conference that they were holding on the property. So it was really cool because guys were there from the community getting to see what was going on a bit. So we quickly got it set up. People were walking around, checking it out, like getting really excited, getting to see it complete, and the build quality of it was awesome. awesome. I'm sure it'll last for a long time, and just really happy with how it turned out. And then I even got to give him a little bit of a presentation, kind of just telling him why, who I was, where this tent was coming from, and just saying thank you in a more public way to the Embera tribe. After getting to kind of say some words to everybody, I was just literally on cloud 9.
Yo hago videos de YouTube. No soy famoso, no tengo tantos suscriptores, pero hay personas en mi canal que han regalado dinero específicamente para que yo pueda dar este dinero a la gente que me ayuda. Pensé que a lo mejor esto podría servir para las reuniones por cualquier propósito. Si queremos tomar café, un lugar para tomar café. Yo sé que en el futuro el mejor cosa sería construir una cancha encerrada aquí. Como no tengo tanto dinero para construir una de esas, yo espero que eso podría ayudar. El chiste es que yo no soy así tan bueno. Yo no soy, o sea, el dinero no era mío. El dinero era de alguien más. Solo era realmente ustedes, sus familiares, su pueblo, que tienen una forma de crear personas increíbles, y eso me encantó. Espero que ustedes lo disfruten. Sí, sí. Popom. Popom.
¿Tu apellido?
Mercapito Osorio. Si preguntan, eso es. Si preguntan, eso es.
Landon, bueno, agradecido también por lo que has donado a nosotros, porque es parte de todo de nosotros. Lo que siempre venimos en eventos, y la verdad, como en caso de hoy, no tenemos nada, pero ya lo estamos disfrutando, y muchísimas gracias.
Seeing everyone's reaction and hearing how grateful they were after giving him the gift truly was just such an honor, and has honestly been one of my biggest highlights from this entire trip. I want to say thank you to all of you guys who watch this channel, who are so kind and supportive to me. I'm so grateful for you guys, and this has just been a blast, and I love it. I do feel truly honored to be able to represent you guys and give these gifts to these amazing people. If you'd like to be involved in something like this, send me a DM on Facebook or Instagram. I would love to give you a call and talk about it. Thank you guys for watching, and cheers. We'll see you on the next one.